Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
It's time for the Winston Venable Show with former Boise State linebacker and assistant coach, Winston Venable. The Winston Venable Show is brought to you by Progressive Wealth Management, enhancing wealth for this generation and the next. To speak to a trusted advisor or to learn more about Progressive Wealth Management's financial services, visit pwmmanagement.com. Now joining Winston Venable, here's BJ Rains.
Hey, what's going on? Happy Wednesday, Boise State fans. Welcome on into another edition of the Winston Venable Show. My name is BJ Rains, joined as always on the Winston Venable Show by Winston Venable, former Boise State linebacker, great all-conference player, member of the all-blue team. The credentials, we don't have enough time to hit in 30 minutes all that Winston has done in his career, but I'm sure being a part of the BNN family is at the top of his list on that resume. But Winston, as always, man, appreciate you. I didn't even get to your coaching career, and now you're helping us out at BNN, and we appreciate it, man. Happy Wednesday. How's it going, man?
It's good, man. We got a little winter wonderland going on out there. Had a little snow on the drive into work this morning, but hey, another Wednesday, BJ. I don't know how many we're at now. I got to go back on the old Twitter deal and see what number we're at, but it's been it's going by fast. We're getting towards that end of the season, and shoot, man, I mean, it feels like the Broncos played so long ago when they play on that Friday, just one day before usual. It seems like that game was so long ago. Maybe it's the anticipation for this Saturday coming up, man. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
good start.
If you may let me reflect for a moment, you mentioned going by fast, and about 5 minutes ago, exactly 1 year ago, on November 30th, 2021, is when I launched BroncoNationNews.com and nice. Bronco Nation News. Today is the birthday, essentially, of Bronco Nation News. We got some folks on here, Kurt Blake saying happy anniversary, Colin saying 1 year. This is it is a little bit of an emotional day for me. I remember all the work I did for the 6 to 8 weeks leading up to it, and then the night before, hoping that, when everybody went to submit their credit card info and everything, that it would work and that the site wouldn't crash and that it wouldn't be just a disaster. And I was very nervous about whether I'd have 5 people sign up or 50 or what it would be like. And, leaving a full-time job to start my own company was a very risky thing that I had to do. And I thank my wife for encouraging and pushing me. And as I woke up this morning, it was it's pretty cool, man, that we're still here a year in and we got a ways to go. This is just the beginning, and it's folks like Winston that have helped build this thing from where it's at. And I got bigger plans for people like Winston too. So I guess, Winston, thank you to you, and thank you to John Mallory and Jay Tust and Mike Prater and Matt Bauscher and Colin and Jaden and everybody else that's been involved in Bronco Nation News. It's been pretty cool, man, to see this thing grow and branch out into shows like the Winston Venable Show and kind of see where this thing can grow. So it's pretty cool, man. Wasn't sure if I'd make it a year, but we're here a year, and hopefully we're here to stay, man. So it's man,
cool. I'm happy to be a part of that, man, with you, and congratulations on making it through a whole year. I got to ask you though, you guys are always doing statistics on it. So day one, did you get any subscribers a year ago today?
Yes. Well, that's actually the goal here. I've got my phone going because any minute now, the auto renewals should start hitting from last year. So yes, today is actually a big day for the company's financials here moving forward. So yes, we are hopeful that everyone signed up last year wants to renew for year two. And we had about 150 people sign up on the very first day last year. We had, I think it was like 300 in the first 3 days. We got a big crush right off the bat. And so I am hopeful if that's one of you that you can go check your credit card info, make sure you're good to go. And hopefully you like what you've seen the last year and you're going to renew for year 2, because yes, we would love to have everybody back on board for another year. The price does increase slightly, but you get some great value out of it in year 2. And Winston, I announced this earlier. If you earlier in the week, if you renew your subscription for another year from now until December 31st, so basically the whole month of December, if you renew your subscription or if you sign up for a new subscription, we're having a little subscriber appreciation giveaways every week, and we're giving away a lot of cool prizes. But the grand prize, Winston, is a private jet ride for 2 down to Las Vegas for a basketball game, and then you get 2 tickets to the game, and then you get to stay at a Circa Resort and Casino for a night. The VIP basketball experience, we're calling it, and Matt Bauscher is going to tag along. You get to hang out with Matt on the trip, and that's the grand prize. But every Friday, we're going to have prizes as well. And this week's prize is this really nice Yeti Bud Light cooler. And then every Friday, we'll give away some really nice high-quality items leading up to the grand prize giveaway on December 31st. So if you subscribed last year and you're set to renew, please renew. We'd love to have you for another year, and you'll be automatically entered. If you're on the fence, get in by Friday. Today's the day. It's the 1-year anniversary. It'd be a cool day to jump in today, and then you'll be entered for Friday to win this cooler and some other gift cards and things we're giving away. We got a Mick Ultra snowboard we're going to be giving away. We got, what else do we got? We got a golf bag. We got some really cool stuff we're giving away leading up to the grand prize. And who wouldn't want a private jet for 2 down to the basketball game in Las Vegas? Just to say you're riding you're taking the PJ to Vegas, Winston. That would be pretty cool, right?
Hey man, that's a sweet deal right there. I mean, you talked about it, man, right there. It's an experience, and that's a rare experience. So just becoming a member and a subscriber with a chance to do that. I mean, obviously, if you're subscribing, you're a Bronco fan, and what a better treat right there to get into a little experience like that, man. Yeah, so hopefully folks will subscribe, will renew here. I think in the next hour or so, we should officially hit the 1-year anniversary, and folks should start having their payments renew for year 2. So we appreciate everybody that again helped along this ride. And Winston, you're a big part of that, man. You're helping out, and like I said, you're not doing this for the money, because I don't pay you nearly enough. So I appreciate what you're doing. We'll see you. You're going to come by Saturday for the pregame show. We did have somebody say here. Daniel says, can't wait to come to the James before the game. Well, that'd be great, Daniel. Would love to see you over there. And to sweeten the pot even more, Winston, because we like giving stuff away, on Saturday we are giving away this Bud Light Seltzer. It's called a Zero Gravity Chair. It's a sweet chair for tailgating or for your backyard or whatever, and it's an awesome chair. And we are giving this away Saturday at the pregame show. Anybody that comes by, takes a picture, says hello to Winston, and shows us that they are a subscriber on the YouTube channel, then you get entered in the pot to win this. We'll draw this with Coach Riddle on the post-game show. And so, we're giving away a lot of stuff with Bronco Nation News. We're giving away a private jet ride. We're giving away a Yeti cooler. But on Saturday, we're giving away this chair. And all you got to do is show us you're a YouTube subscriber and come by the James between 11 and, the game's at 2, so 10 and 1. Come by between about 10 and 1 on Saturday. Sign up, show us you're a YouTube subscriber, and it's a free entry, and you're entered in to win that chair on Saturday. So hopefully we'll see you guys. Winston will be there on the pregame show. We got some other fun stuff planned. And, championship Saturday. Daniel says, what time? About 10 to 1. We'll be there about 10 to 1 probably on Saturday. We're looking forward to that. So, fun day for Bronco Nation News. Hopefully you'll jump in and subscribe, and we would really appreciate that if you make today the day that you jump in and enter those contests, and we'll hope to make it worth it to you the next year with some of the coverage and things we've done. Like I've said, a lot of the written content is going to be going behind the paywall now, and even some of these shows. I'm not sure if we'll do it with Winston's show, but at least 1 or 2 of the daily morning shows we may toy with putting behind the paywall just to make it valuable to our subscribers to subscribe. So if you're on the fence, now's the time, man. And we'll be at every football, basketball game the rest of the season, home, road, doesn't matter. Bringing coverage to you, and hopefully you'll jump in and subscribe. And if you are a subscriber, hopefully you will renew. We truly appreciate that. But do have a big game on Saturday to talk about, Winston, and it's Championship Saturday, man. I know kind of the Harsin mantra was championship week, every week in conference play and trying to go 1-0.
And now it literally is championship week, Mountain West title on the line. You mentioned the snow. It kind of brings back some unhappy memories probably of that 2018 game and the snowy game where Fresno State had the walk-off win in overtime. But 40-20 when these teams met back in early October. Boise State rushed for 316 yards. And Taylon Green was still getting going. That was his second career start, I believe. And then you had no Jake Haener as well for Fresno. Now the teams are meeting up again with a title on the line. That first game really doesn't matter. Should be fun on Saturday.
Yeah, and I think you just said it, BJ. I mean, not only, that was the past and, both teams are focusing on this week. And you just mentioned, I think Taylon was just getting going. They didn't have their quarterback. I'm sure there was several players on both sides, whether that was injury. So you can't, in my opinion, you can't really look at that game and come up with much of a prediction based off of that. I mean, I think both teams have grown so much since then. It's going to be a different ball game, and that heightened sense of urgency now that it's the championship. I mean, I think it's going to be a battle, especially, just seeing what Fresno State looks like with their quarterback out there. They're a different team, as is the Broncos. So I'm excited to see two totally different teams play against each other for a championship.
Should be a lot of fun. What do you, I mean, is Boise State going to be able to rush for 300 yards again? Or I mean, was that obviously a product of Taylon Green still not being where he is now in terms of his passing ability? Do you think Boise State, I mean, the rush defense is not great for Fresno? Is that an area where they're going to continue to try to attack them?
Yeah, and I wouldn't ever put anything down on the Boise State Broncos rushing attack anyways. I think they have so many threats back there, and we saw it last week, and Taylon popped off a 91-yarder just like that. And I think that guy's capable of doing that at any point of a ball game. And, if you don't have the right eyes or you're not in the right gap, I mean, some Boise State Broncos are going to expose you. I mean, there's some guys that have that ability to take it the long way, whether it is Taylon or Genty or even George Halani, where, there's some explosive runs that those guys have put up, and it can happen at any time. They take advantage of teams that aren't playing them sound on defense. So I wouldn't put that being a feasible deal right there, 300 plus yards, and who knows, man.
How crazy is it just to think about that we're here talking about a championship game when this team was 2-2 and they relieved Coach Plow of his duties. Hank Bachmeier transfers. And we were on the air that next Wednesday, Winston, wondering if they'd even get to a bowl game, man, or what the future of the program was. And there were a lot of worried fans that Boise State mystique and magic in the last 20 years that they had built this was all kind of crumbling. And here you go, 2 months later, they go 7-1. And they got a nice 9-3 regular season, and they're back in the title game. I mean, how did we get to this point, man?
Yeah, I mean, credit to those guys, right? Credit to the Broncos, man, the coaching staff and the players sticking with it and hanging in there. I mean, and that was obviously a tough deal. I mean, Coach Avalos had to get rid of a staff member, and then shortly after there was personnel changes, and you just didn't know where that was going to snowball, right? You didn't know if that was going to affect them in a negative way or a positive way. And I think I even said back then, I mean, Bronco Nation, we've been spoiled in the sense of those winning records, right? So when you get 2 losses right away, you're going to the negative. We're going to have a 6-loss season, a 5-loss season. And, it's like, hey, let these guys figure some things out. And that's exactly what they did. They figured some things out. I think obviously Dirk Cutter was a phenomenal addition, somebody that could really take reins of that offense and do it in a way that Coach Avalos has a lot of trust in him. And they went and had some confidence, and they went and started rolling and really got some momentum going. So hopefully they can keep that going for the biggest game of the year, right? But I think it goes to show this is a great lesson, BJ, for fans, right? And we talked about it. It was kind of like, just chill, relax. All right. I mean, it's the days of the undefeateds. It's so hard to do that. And look at us now, 9-3. I mean, that's a heck of a record, man. And they still got a couple more games left to go, but credit to the players and the coaching staff for keeping it positive in that building and attacking each week and getting wins.
Yeah, you went viral a little bit when you made some comments 2 months ago, whatever, that some of the fans agreed with and some didn't in terms of the expectations for this program and where they should be. But I mean, 9-3 with a spot in the championship game, I think people would take that most years, especially with how it started at 2-2.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the thing is, man, I'm one of the biggest Bronco supporters, alum out there. In my opinion, I bleed blue, man. I'm very passionate about the program, so my standards are probably just as high as anybody else's, right? And it's just you got to be realistic, man. And I'm glad that we've gone through this adversity, this battle, as fans now, where we can share our thoughts and opinions, but we also can learn. Like, don't freak out. And what's better, like, support the team that you love, support the guys. And when you start talking negatively, it's just you're throwing bad juju out there, man. So you always got to stay positive.
He's Winston Venable. My name is BJ Rains. This is Bronco Nation News, the Winston Venable Show here at BroncoNationNews.com. Again, we hope to see you on Saturday down at the James. Winston will be down there for the pregame show. I'll be with Coach Ridd for the postgame show as well. Could be a fun, festive postgame there. 5, 6 o'clock, confetti falling if they win the title, obviously. A lot going on potentially if they win the game. So hopefully we'll see you over at the James and you can celebrate the Mountain West Championship with us over there. Winston, what offensively, we've talked a lot about Taylon Green, but some of these receivers we've continued to see evolve too. The Eric McAllisters of the world, and even guys like Billy Bowens and Latrell Caples, who we went into the season expecting them to make big jumps, but they really hadn't done a lot in previous years. You throw them in there. I mean, and Steph Cobbs has been out the last week or two, but he's obviously done some things. I know Taylon Green deserves a lot of the credit, but I think the receivers deserve a lot of the credit as well.
Dude, absolutely, man. I'm so glad you brought that up because, man, Latrell Caples is like Steph Cobbs. I know we were expecting him to have a big year and maybe didn't start off as hot, but like me personally, like I know Cobbs is a baller, right? And, he's going to do well and he's going to have that impact that I know he can. And he's shown that before. But what's been awesome for me is seeing like Latrell Caples out there, a guy that's just really been grinding and trying to find his role and become a Bronco, and seeing that reward, him getting rewarded for that has been awesome. Eric McAllister, it's like, what is he, the red zone master? Is he just the touchdown guy or what? Because, I don't obviously can't see everybody out in the field and notice what numbers are out there and who's playing and all that just from the TV. But every once in a while, you're like, hey, man, Eric McAllister just caught another touchdown, or he's in a big time moment, a big time play and getting a touchdown. And man, he's just got to be one of the better red zone guys and go ball type of guys going up there and getting it. So Billy Bowens, man, he's had injuries and I felt so bad for that guy because he busts his tail. He's always like been a great teammate, always trying to take care of his body, but he's had these little tweaks here and there. And for a guy like Billy Bowens to have the impact he's had, man, it's been awesome to see, man. So the wide receiver group, Coach Miller, sticking with those guys and getting those guys prepared each week to have an impact. And it wasn't in the start of the season, man. It's been a gradual deal, but those guys have had some big time catches, some incredible catches, really, that, extending first downs and touchdown catches. It's been pretty cool, man.
Hey, we're broadcasting from the Cutwater Canned Cocktail Studios. Pick up one where there are more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails next time you head to your local gas station or grocery store. Idaho Central Credit Union, the official bank of Bronco Nation News and the Rains family. Check them out, iccu.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, their all-wheel drive sale going on right now. Find a vehicle that fits your needs at Lithia Ford Boise.com. Rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company at Boise State Athletics. Got a lot of great deals going on right now for all your painting needs. Check out rowpaint.com. Transportation compliance service. If you're looking to get into the trucking industry, they can help you every step of the way with all the permits and things you need. TransCompService.com. Boise Dentistry Co. If you're looking for a new dentist for your whole family, look no further. Dr. Chris Minert and his staff. Locations from Mountain Home to Caldwell, everywhere in between. BoiseDentistryCo.com. United Commercial Insurance. They make business insurance easy. 229-8222. A quick call could save you hundreds of dollars on your business insurance. They can write policies in 44 states around the country. That's UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Ridley's Family Markets. ShopRidleys.com. 13 locations across the state of Idaho. Find the location nearest you. ShopRidleys.com. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Get $40 on an online order. Gets you free shipping. Free shipping, any online order over $40. You can also go check them out in the Boise Town Square Mall on the second floor. That's the Blue and Orange Store. And, of course, Bauscher Real Estate, the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Check them out for all your realty needs. BauscherRealestate.com. We'll be doing a show with Matt on Friday, by the way. Friday afternoon, we'll talk some basketball with Matt Bauscher. And you know what, Winston, even though it's cold, it's snowing outside, there's no excuse to give up your golf game. PlayTimberstone.com. You can book their simulators, their TrackMan indoor facility. They're still doing the lessons as well at Timberstone Golf Course. So you can still work on your game this winter so you're ready to go in the spring. Check out Timberstone Golf Course at PlayTimberstone.com. What do you make of what this defense is doing, Winston? It's been incredible. They've had guys going in and out of the lineup, dropping like flies. I mean, I was talking to Jay Tuss yesterday, and he said at one point in that game the other day, when the game was still in doubt, they had 3 guys on the field that started the game against Oregon State on defense. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I guess that's football, right? Next man up, but with the targeting to JL, and you have, George Tarlas out for the year. Dimitri's been out for a few weeks. Zeke Noah's been out. Tyreek Jones went down. Jackson Cravens, Herbert Gums, you had Isaiah Banya transfer. I mean, you go down the line, man. Markel Reed went down early in the season. I mean, they're battered and bruised on defense, and yet they continue to keep getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, that goes, I think some of that, obviously I want to credit the players, right? I mean, you got to credit those guys that step up, right? The Andrew Simpsons of the world, right? Where he might get sprinkled in there a little bit, and then next thing you know, he's the starter, and he's got to go out there and make big-time plays, and he has. So I credit the players, and you have to credit the coaching staff of now the past, getting these guys in here in the recruiting ranks because you're building this dependable depth. And that's a big credit to the coaching staff that, recruited these guys and brought these guys in to be contributors and getting them ready to play. And that's something that it's obviously it's a teamwork deal, right? So Coach Spence, man, he's got to bust his tail to get Andrew Simpson ready to go play game time. And obviously those guys are doing a phenomenal job getting their reserve players or their second, third string guys ready to play and step up. And that's always been the deal. You just said you got to carry the flag. And when your name's called upon, what do you do with your opportunity? And I think we see some Boise State Broncos, some young guys, some guys that aren't bigger names stepping up and doing their thing. I mean, I bring up Andrew Simpson because, BJ, earlier before the year started on that first preseason show, there was kind of that one group that we were talking about who we had our eyes on, and it was linebackers for me. And DJ Schramm is killing it, and Andrew Simpson has stepped in and replaced Zeke in a great way, and they found that this guy can come off the edge and be a great blitzer. He has a physicality to him that he runs sideline to sideline and likes to hit people. So I'm loving what the linebackers are doing. I think they're deep at the safety position where a guy like JL goes down. Rodney Robinson has stepped up. Rodney hasn't gotten a bunch of, he was playing that nickel position last year a little bit, helping with Kala. And that dude, man, big time interceptions, big time plays. Shea Oladipo. I think he was, he's been up and down, comes into a big time moment and seals the deal. I mean, these guys are stepping up. I think they're hungry group, and they're young, and they're active, man. They fly around the ball and they have fun. And I think that shows out there.
A couple people are asking what you thought of the targeting call on JL.
Man, it's so hard. I did not think it was a good call at all. I thought on replay, you can see that he lowered his head. Yes. Did not hit him with his head, crown of his helmet. It was a shoulder hit, and it was a big hit. And unfortunately, that's where college football is going. It's like a scary deal. It's like, if there's a big hit, here comes the flag. And it's like, then they go and review it. And, did his head go down? Sure, his head went down. But, let's slow this thing down and realize that he hit him with his shoulder, and it was a big hit, and that's why the flag got called. So I feel bad for JL. I didn't think that was a good call at all. The one thing I am happy about with the NCAA is they're no longer kicking guys off the field, and yes, ESPN is not following them into the locker. I'm big on this rule. I really don't like it at all. I don't think that. NFL players aren't getting penalized the same way college players are, and we're moving more towards protecting players and that being the big part of it. But 18 to 22-year-olds don't need to be highlighted out there like they're the bad guy for playing physical football. And half these calls are terrible calls anyway. So I am happy they're not highlighting them like they used to and kicking them out, but they got to do a better job with these calls, man. And a guy like JL, he's got a bad rap. You get
I
a
just
couple
hate
of
that
those
some guy,
calls.
I just hate that some guy in the press box can determine on senior day that the guy's done for the game in the first quarter.
No, it's terrible. And I mean, can you think about if these guys weren't in another game
Oh yeah,
on the blue?
I did think about it. I was talking to Reid about that on the post-game show. That literally,
I'm like, how
he
do you
had
like
family
feel
and friends coming from all over, and that was his that could have been the way his Boise State career ended at home. And I mean, that could happen.
You know
it could happen on Saturday. I mean,
and you know what, man? It's still a big deal. It's still, I mean, you miss a whole game. You know, like put them in the penalty box for a quarter, a certain amount of plays. But you're kicking guys out of games, like.
For some guy in the box that's probably never played the game of football.
Yeah, it's just I don't like it, man. I think the NCAA's got to figure it out, honestly. And I just feel bad for guys because a lot of these are, you know, JL's an aggressive player. The best thing for him is he's gonna go to the next level, and it's gonna be a fine, and he's gonna continue to play. It's a penalty and a fine, but he gets to continue to play the game. So you know, hopefully he can get through these next 2 ball games that these guys got and finish the right way. But yeah, college football's got to figure that out.
I know all the coaches and players try to say, oh, we're treating it like any other week. It's a normal game, you know, the whole coach speak. But is it, I mean, when you're getting on the practice field, getting in the film room on, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of championship week, I mean, is it a little different feeling in the building?
No doubt, man. No doubt. This is your opportunity to actually accomplish your goal. And you've put yourself in that position to have your goal be attainable, but now you got to go win it. So, I mean, if the urgency wasn't heightened, they'd be silly. You're going to put in a little more time. You're going to take things a little more serious. I mean, yeah, this is chips are all in, man. And there is that mentality that like, well, why should it be any different? Well, it's different because it is the championship game. I mean, bottom line.
And you know, I hate to say it, but I mean, this game kind of defines your season, right? I mean, 9-3 was a great season, but if you go and lose this game, you don't have the same feeling you did as if you win.
100%. I mean, you come back and you say we didn't accomplish our goal. I mean, so if your goal is to win as many games as possible or whatever, you know, Boise State's goal is to win the Mountain West Conference Championship, you know, and a bowl game with class, integrity, and academic excellence. I mean, that is the goal. It has been for a while. There's you got to try to accomplish it. So yes, it's a very a great feeling when you can check that box. And if that box is not unchecked, it's a disappointment. You didn't accomplish what you set out to do.
What do you make of Fresno? Obviously, Jake Haener is back. That's a big difference for them. I mean, how different is this? They've won 7 in a row. I mean, they haven't lost since they came to the Blue, I don't think. They're obviously rolling right now. We saw in 2018, like I said, where Boise State won the regular season matchup. Fresno got them in the title game. What do you make of the Fresno team that's coming in here on Saturday? I mean, this is going to be I don't think this is going to be the 20-point easy win that it was last time they played. Winston? Winston. Looks like Winston may have froze there, so we'll get Winston back in just a minute and finish it up with him. I don't know if that's my computer or Winston's, but looks like Winston has froze, and we will Winston, you there, man?
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is. I don't know what happened there. There he is.
Oh, yeah, I probably didn't get your question, your last maybe 30 seconds there. We were both spinning on my end.
Okay, I was just kind of saying, like, what do you make of this Fresno State team that's coming in? Because Jake Haener obviously didn't play in the first matchup. They've got a safety back as well. That one of their better players on defense didn't play in that game. You know, I don't think it's going to be the 40-20 kind of easy win that it was the first time they played. And you guys obviously had it in 2018 where Boise State won the regular season. Then Fresno got you guys in the title game. I mean, this is obviously going to be a tough game on Saturday, right?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think the Broncos have showed, you know, these last couple games, man, they keep winning and they're doing their thing, but there's been some tight ball games in there late. And Fresno State is probably climbing their confidence. They got their quarterback, like you just said, they've gone on about 7 in a row. So I think you got 2 really confident teams, 2 teams that are playing at a very high level, and it makes it very spicy, very interesting to get this rematch that's not necessarily the same rematch as far as personnel. And I think you can see that always, like there's guys that didn't play for Boise State and guys that were a little injured. Talon was just getting rolling. So he's a much better player. Boise State's offense is much better. Fresno State seems to be rolling, and they're better with their quarterback. So it's kind of an interesting deal, BJ. This is not two of the same teams going against each other, which makes it really interesting and really exciting. And what a better way to have a championship game kind of with that unknown. I think if Jake Haener came out here and Boise State did what they did and it was the typical offense that they're comfortable with, I think it looks a lot different. But they had a really tough time running the ball. I know they tried to. They seem to be very consistent with the run game. I remember thinking then Kirby is sticking with this run game right now. So it was two teams kind of battling it out. Well, now, yeah, maybe Jake's a little dink and dunk, can throw it a little bit. So you're getting two different ball games, two different teams. I mean, and man, I'm excited to see it.
Now, if you want some encouraging stats, last year when they played Fresno State, Boise State did pick off Jake Haener 3 times in last year's game out there in Fresno, which you're familiar with.
Go ahead and throw that thing up to the boys, man. But
how do they get a pass rush, man? That's one of the keys. A couple people have said you can't let Jake Haener have all day to sit back there. Obviously, with all these guys on defense, particularly the edge position, they've really struggled the last few weeks to get much of a pass rush. Some fans, in the BYU game were mad that Spencer didn't blitz a little more, try to get more pressure. I mean, what can they do to get a pass rush? Because I do agree here with Stone Thomas takes that if they can't get much of a pass rush and Haener has all day to sit back there, it could be a long day.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the names of the game, man. You got to put pressure on the quarterback. You got to pressure him up and make sure he's rattled and got guys from coming all sides and they're having a hard time in protection. I mean, pressure is always good. I mean, I think that's kind of been a little bit about what Boise State does. They can put some pressure on teams and be creative on defense. And you don't always want to just sit back and zone coverages and just tackle all day because that can be, like we just said, dinks and dunks, 5 yards can turn into longer plays. I think you could see that from the BYU game. There was a lot of short passes that were turned into some missed tackles and things like that. So pressuring the quarterback is huge. Rattling him, confusing him is a big deal. And I got a lot of confidence in Coach Spencer Danielson and Andy Avalos with throwing at the Fresno State offense stuff they haven't seen before, right? I think you're going to see the creative juices. Coach Avalos is a very creative guy on the defensive side. So is Coach Spencer. And I think those guys are going to come with some packages, some blitzes, some things that we haven't even seen this year. And it's going to be a surprise to the offense over there.
Well, Winston, we haven't had it the last couple of weeks, or we've had kind of been in and out because of our schedules and the basketball schedule, but we are returning tonight with BNN After Dark. John Mallory, yourself, myself, 8 o'clock tonight. Before we get out of here, why don't you give our viewers here a preview?
Coming from way of Barcelona, got my man Chase Baker, part of the D-Line Sleaze. He is going to join us this morning. It's going to be a little time crunch for him. He's going to start his day off, but former teammate of mine, played on the D-line. Love this dude. He's just a part of that crew, man, that took me in, showed me the ropes, and was able to play a little bit after Boise State. Spent some time with the Vikings, spent some time in the CFL, and he's really dialing in the coaching ranks. So, I haven't talked to Chase on the phone in a very long time, but I'm really excited for this one to learn really learn about what he's got going on now and a little bit of his experience playing with such a great defensive line at Boise State and a little bit of his pro career. So I think we got a lot of things to talk about with Chase tonight, and it'll be exciting hearing from a guy that may not be as popular as some of the Boise State football players around it, but he was a heck of a Bronco, man, and a big part of that D line that was very special here.
And he was part of the 50-3 club, I believe. He was from 08 to 11, right there with Kellen Moore. And like you said, went on to play in the NFL, I think 5 NFL games with the Minnesota Vikings in 2013. And so, he's a good guy too. Good follow on social media. And I did a podcast with him where I met him down in Dallas, I think when BSU was playing Oklahoma State or something a while back. And He's a great dude. So Chase Baker, looking forward to catching up with him. He'll be 4 a.m. in Barcelona, Spain. He's waking up for us to do the show.
Way to start the day.
And I'm not even sure why he's over there. Let's not give it away, but we'll find out why he's even in Barcelona, Spain. So that's for subscribers. That's at 8 o'clock tonight. You got to be a subscriber. You'll hear Winston, Johnny, and myself kind of BSing, telling some stories, talking. Chase will jump on, tell some stories about his playing days and what it was like being part of the Kellen Moore era and the 50-3 club and all that good stuff, playing in the Fiesta Bowl. And we'll have some fun going down memory lane with Chase Baker. And that is subscriber only. So you got to subscribe. If you are a subscriber, you'll get an email with the link, or you can go to the BNN After Dark tab on the website under the videos, live videos tab, and you'll see the link to it there as well. So Winston, appreciate your time as always. Have a great day, and hopefully everybody viewing has a great day. We'll get down. We got some football interviews coming up at, I think, 12 o'clock. We'll get those posted to the YouTube channel, and then we'll be rocking and rolling 8 o'clock tonight on BNN After Dark, man.
Sounds good, BJ. We'll see you tonight.
Appreciate it. There he is, Winston Venable, one of the best to do it all time at Boise State, and we're grateful to have him as part of the Bronco Nation news team. So continue to subscribe and watch our shows every Wednesday with Winston, and make sure you go check out Progressive Wealth Management, pwmmanagement.com, for all your financial needs. So have a great day, and we will talk to you 8 o'clock tonight, BNN After Dark. Chase Baker, John Mallory, Winston Venable, and myself. This has been Bronco Nation News, bronconationnews.com.